Thanks so much for joining us here on a Sunday. I'm Ariella Scalese.
And I'm Bree. I mean, we've been talking about lots of active weather in the past week, and now as we head into this week, it's Earth Day tomorrow, but also we have a few things on our radar here at AccuWeather.
Yeah, let's look at the radar and satellite right now to get you set for this Sunday, because there's lots of wet weather that could impact your travel and plans to be outside today.
Yeah, especially if you're in the southeast. That's where we have those storms still rolling through. You'll note it's a little chillier further north, though it's relatively quiet here across most of the country.
Starting to see some of the sun come out. Gorgeous weather for the west coast today, where temperatures Gulf Coast, and there will be some chilly rain north of the storm, while showers and thunderstorms erupt along and south of the storm. Severe weather will be very limited today,
which is the good news. And then, are you waking up to frost maybe outside your window? Blasts of chilly air spreading from the plains to the mid-Atlantic and to this week will threaten to damage sensitive vegetation from frost and freezing temperatures.
All right, let's take you back outside now into North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte, an area that's
It's been a really nasty, yucky start to the day in the Carolinas. We've had these storms continuing to roll through, especially if you're there along the coast. Certainly not the best beach weekend for you. Those clouds are continuing to roll on through. We are still talking about those storms skirting from west to east. Here's your general setup for our Sunday. We have that stalled out frontal boundary, which means, unfortunately, well, we're running a few degrees below the historical averages now, which is a big change from just yesterday in areas like Atlanta, Raleigh. Now, highs today in the upper 50s. Big changes. Nashville 58, though you'll still note it's pretty toasty there along the state of Florida. Now, I do want to show you how this rain is going to play out here, as we do have that front that's going to continue to shift further south into the east. It's in the northeast.
Yeah.
But it's colder.
We were just there pretty recently here, and this is what's tricky about spring. You start to get attached to one weather pattern, and then the second later, it changes. So that's why we are thankful that you are watching us here to keep in tune with the weather, because it is definitely colder outside than it was at this point on our Saturday into the northeast. 10-degree difference in Pittsburgh, 5-degree difference in New York City, and 11 degrees colder in Washington, D.C. right now. Those crops, unfortunately, maybe not making them through the rest of the spring season. So you want to make sure you are protecting that sensitive vegetation through the Midwest and the Northeast as we head into tonight. We had a very mild winter in New England. It stays pretty dry and pleasant along the mid-Atlantic, but notice the next system here that's going to be impacting the Midwest eventually will start to move into northern parts of Pennsylvania and western New York as we head into the day on Tuesday. And even a stronger air mass here of colder air starts to impact us as central, but things are looking up for today.
Yeah, maybe things are feeling a little blue over these next few days. Now we're back up to the historical averages, at least or normal.
Yeah, closer to where we typically week and into next weekend.
All right, let's go to number 2 on our list. It is getting hot in here. We're talking about the South Central.
Yeah.
High pressure is building as that storm makes
We are in the peak of the season, and now we have 2 areas of some risk, starting with our Thursday, where Kansas City down to Wichita Falls, we're going to be watching for storms to cool and heat.
Exactly. Like, the upstairs does get really hot, so I will say that I turn the air on in our bedroom, but that is the only area. It hasn't been quite hot yet.
Yeah, so hey, if you want to take part in more of these weather takes, make sure to follow AccuWeather on all of our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. We'll have much more for you coming up here on AccuWeather Weekend. Stay with us. We'll be right back.